Hey, so the last this is session 8 of our young entrepreneur startup boot camp, and the last one was on the pitch and how to do your presentation and all about that. Now this one's just going to be a quick on the on a template, but it's all the 6 slides that you need to do, where to fill in the blanks, make it as simple as possible, right? And it'll be good looking for you, and then you can also change it around and stuff. But this is just a way to really get started fast instead of wasting time. So here is your startup pitch, right? You can call that whatever you want. You can take that my startup pitch text out of there, but you write down your business name and presented by, you write down your name. You can change the different font sizes and stuff, so it's big and you can show it all. So first, what we talk about first, right? The hook. This is where you grab their attention in 30 seconds. Your hook goes here. Surprising fact, whatever it's going to be, write it down in there. A vivid 1 sentence story. Boom. This is where you really grab them. This is where you grab people, right? Ideas, here's the thing. Start with a question. How many of you have ever, whatever it is, or a surprising statistic, or, paint a 10-second, picture of the problem. Those are the things that, to do in that one. And then the next one here is the problem. So here's what you put on in here, make the audience feel why this matters. Who has this problem? How big is it? Don't mention your solution yet. You're talking about the problem. Let the problem breathe. Let people feel it. The audience should be nodding. Has anybody ever had this problem? And they all should be going, oh my God, yeah, I have it all the time. I really hate that. I wish there was a solution for that. And then you hit them with the solution, right? And so here's the solution. Here's where you put the solution. You introduce your product or service, right? Clearly and simple. We help people, whatever the customer is, we help people have this problem by this solution that's unlike the alternatives in the past, and why those alternatives fall short. And then show it if you can. Have a photo, a sketch, screenshot. That could be another slide, or it could be in this slide too. And why yours is better. It's cheaper, faster, less painful, whatever it is. And then we go to the business model, right? And here's where you talk about, how your business, remember the business, model template that we had. And that's off the business model canvas kind of ideas. How much you're going to make per sale, what's it going to cost, what your profit's going to be, your revenue models. We talked about all these kind of things, so people can understand. Especially you want to do this when you're trying to get investors, right? Oh, they know, wow, this looks like a compelling business. I should invest in this. And who your target customers are, and how do they find you? What are your channels, right? That's the marketing part. So you have all that stuff in there. That's slide number 4. So here we go to slide number 5, traction, right? And here's where you put, how you've been doing with this, how many customers or users, how much money you've made, what kind of sales, feedback you've received, and then maybe a testimonial would be the greatest. This is the greatest thing I ever used. Something like that would really be nice, right? And then you go on to your ask. And what is your ask going to be? I'm asking for, I'm looking for people, 10 people to try this today for free, or something like that. That's wow. Okay. Or, today I'm looking for people, take advantage of this big discount, and how they can reach you, your email, on the social media stuff, and the website, with the sign up link. And everybody should have a website, right? It's so simple to make a website these days that you should just have one, right? And what happens after they sign up? And then you just leave them with a some kind of thank you, right? Thank you thing, and then questions, your tagline, some kind of a closing segment statement. Just put it there, and then your contact information. And you could say, if you have any questions now, or if you have questions later, please, please contact me, and get right down to it. So that's it, plain and simple, right? The template is downloadable, below here, and yeah, check it out, and I'll catch you in the next session. So get to work.